Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the June 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Aries. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your sun, moon, and rising signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs, and see which video's title resonates for you most at this time. Now, just to let you know, I'll be using a Celtic cross style spread, pulling from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then I'll be getting further clarification using the Rider-Waite deck. So, Aries, let's see what June has in store for you. So far, there's been a lot coming up for the signs. Been seeing a lot of inner work being done, a lot of releasing of old ways of thinking, behaving, interacting with others, communication. A lot of learnt behaviors are falling away, patterns are being broken, karmic cycles are ending. All of that is taking place, I feel, for each sign in the month of June. So we'll see how this corresponds to your reading. And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has liked, commented, and subscribed. It means the world to me to have you a part of this little online community. And it is growing, and it's awesome to see that. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey and for your support. It means everything, okay? This is why I do it. It's for you guys. So thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who also checked out the live discussion between me and Natalie of Nature's Galaxy. It was an excellent discussion. I had so much fun. It was just perfect, okay? I loved it. It was so good to speak with someone of such a similar mind. So if you haven't seen that, you can still watch the replay. I've actually uploaded the video to YouTube, so you can see that on the channel. Just go to the video section of the channel. And I've also got it on IGTV because it was actually recorded. We did the live session on Instagram, so you can check that there also. So do check out the announcement for the next live discussion, okay? That'll be coming very soon. All right, so let's see then, without further ado. What do we have for Aries for June 2020? And as I always do, I'll be pulling the layout first, and then we'll go through what each card represents for this particular reading. And then we'll go into the clarifications afterwards, as we usually do on this channel. Okay, so I'm just going to remove my incense. Hopefully it won't go into my eye this time. When I was doing the readings last night, it just all of a sudden started going into my eyeball, which is not really what you want when you're trying to look at a card and, you know, give the information when you've got a smoke in your eyes. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. It should be okay. All right, so Aries, let's have a look for you. So in regards to your present circumstances, you have the World card in reverse, okay? So this is it. This is exactly what I was talking about. Karmic cycles being resolved, okay? So you're at a crossroads now, I feel like, where you have a decision to make regarding how to approach a current set of circumstances, or just this cycle that you've been navigating for some time now. I feel like this one has been a particularly long one for you, stretching years rather than weeks or days, right? This is years long in the making. So you're at a very crucial point now where you can you have the power to affect how this goes. You can get the wheel back in motion, right? Things turning so that whatever was seemingly hidden to you or confusing or didn't allow you to move forward will be very much at the surface, and then you can see what steps to take. But it all depends on how you approach these situations, how you approach whatever's taking place in your current circumstances. So we'll look at that when we clarify. In regards to your challenge at this time, you have the Justice card, okay? So this is Libra energy. And yeah, this is it. This is talking about weighing it up, looking at things from different perspectives, and being able to make a decision that is in line with your principles, your morals, how you conduct yourself, right? Making a fair and balanced judgment on how to approach a situation, how to resolve an issue, what steps that need to be implemented, how to shift out of a previous way of doing things towards a new way of approaching things. So we'll see again when we clarify. In regards to your recent past, you have the Knight of Swords here, okay, in reverse. So that's air energy, okay? Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So it could be that you're dealing with a Libra, especially with that Justice card there quite prominently in the position of your challenge, right? Having to weigh things up and approach it fairly. And I feel like before you was not taking action upon this. You were not communicating something, or you didn't express something because you felt like the timing was off. You didn't have the facts. You wasn't really sure of how you truly felt about something. You wasn't sure if the message will be well received. This is what I'm getting. Excuse me. It could be also that yeah, there's some uncertainty in the past. You were very uncertain about what it is that you want, so you couldn't move forward with it because you were like, I don't even know if that's the direction I want to go in, so I need to make sure that that is right for me first before I speak anything into being, before I act upon anything. I can't do that if I'm not sure, right? So that's why you're kind of held back, I feel like, because there was some uncertainty. Even if you knew that this path or this action you wanted to take was what you wanted, you was still, there was still some hesitancy or uncertainty around maybe how it would turn out, the outcome, right? So that's why you didn't move on something. We'll see again. In regards to your near future, you have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So yeah, you're not going to be exploring. I feel like actually with this, it's like you're not gonna fall into any pitfalls. You're not gonna what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like things are gonna be much clearer, right? You're gonna be able to decipher what it is that you want. So you're not gonna be just like dipping your toes in the water here, there, and everywhere, because you're clear on what this seventh cup means to you now. Because you were able to get clear in your mind, in your heart. You were able to clear out any baggage, so you could see clearly what it is that you were moving towards, what it is that you truly want, right? And not what you just thought you wanted or what you're telling yourself you should want or anything of that nature, right? It's very clear on what it is that feels right in your mind, heart, and spirit, right? So that's what you're moving towards. There's no uncertainty around that. The clarity is here, pretty much. That's what's coming up in the near future. In regards to your feelings, you have the 10 of Wands in reverse of fire energy. This is your energy, Aries, as well as Sagittarius and Leo. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like, again, this for me in this particular reading, I feel like you coming at a crossroads. You're like, okay, I can either continue down the path that I've been currently and just allow things to get on top of me and feel very heavy, or I can release it and explore a new approach, a new path, a new way of doing things, right? Where, yeah, there's going to be uncertainty. There's going to be a little bit of fear also maybe coming in because it's new, right? There's this level of newness attached to it. But you know that something has to give, something has to happen. So regardless of that, I think you're feeling the weight of, you know, maybe holding on to old ways of doing things, old approaches, old mindsets, old beliefs on what it is you feel you should be doing with your life, right? But you're feeling the weight of that, all of these preconceived notions is what I'm getting. And you're just wanting to release that and just move towards what this seventh cup is for you. So in regards to what's crowning you at this time, so what's within your power to affect within these circumstances, you have the 9 of Pentacles, okay? Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So this is it. I think you're aware that, you know, you generally are very, You're very abundant. I feel like naturally you just create abundance, okay? This is something that you manifest very easily, right? There's not that much effort or thought has to go into it. It's not like you have to keep trying and trying and trying just to get one of these pentacles, right? I feel like you just naturally are able to create abundance in your life, right? You have that ability, right? So there's no concerns around this, but you may be concerned about, you know, if you take this new path, if you take this new approach, will I still be able to do this? Will I still be able to manifest in this way, you know, organically? Rather than forcing something, you know, you just allow things to come into being. Your energy is there, you're aligned with that, so it comes into being. It's very natural to you. So you're worried that maybe if you do take an action and you do take a new approach and you change your way of thinking, this is going to affect your ability to organically manifest abundance, right? But the reality is, with this being your crowning position, this is something you will do regardless. This is something you are capable of, right? This is just what you do, it's who you are, right? You are very much aware of that ability, right? And it's something we all have, but not everyone is as tapped into that aspect of their being as you are. But this is something you've always been aware of. You're like, you just get things done. You just manifest things, right? Because you can tap into that energy, you know, being aligned in that way where your 5D and 3D reality are matching, right? Even if you don't do any spiritual practices, it's not about that. It's just you're able to manifest on that level because you're doing it in sync, in tandem all the time. So that's not something you're going to lose as a result, right? If you explore something new, that's just part of what you do, right? It's just there may be some patterns, other patterns of behavior that could be limiting how much more you can do and what else you can put in the world, right? Through just being in that energy. So that's the thing. In regards to your advice here, you have the 5 of Cups in reverse. So more water energy, okay? And with the 5 of Cups being in reverse, it's like, listen, the only thing that can hold you back is you, essentially. Right? Yeah, there may be some things in the past that you wished you maybe have approached differently, or maybe there's things from your past that you wish that you could go back to, that you could revisit, that you could communicate something or act upon something differently. Now that you have this clarity coming in, this awareness of what it is you truly want, and it's very much tied into your emotional space, right? This is something that means a great deal to you, whatever it is. It can be, you know, an environment from the past that you grew up in. It could be a connection that you have with a friend, a family member, an ex-partner. It could be a dream that you once had, right? It can be anything, but you know specifically what that means to you. And it's like your advice here is not to dwell on what no longer is or what could have been. Focus on what can be and what you do have, right? Because you have abundance. That's very clear in your life. You have emotional grounding. You have the ability to extend yourself emotionally to others. You're able to dream new dreams, right? You are able to do that with this energy. So that's where your focus needs to lie. In regards to your external influences, so this can be people, places, environments, situations that you're navigating, you have the Empress. So very much Taurus energy. You could be dealing with a Taurus, potentially. Or you could have this in your chart. Or this could be relevant to the previous season that we were just in. We were just in Taurus season, right? But either way, I feel like this person, whoever this is, if this is a person, you're seeing them in this energy, I feel like. I feel like maybe you weren't aware of how abundant this person truly is, and that's coming into your awareness now, and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I give up? Or oh my gosh, how did I not see this before? Or oh my gosh, why didn't I support them in this? Or oh my gosh, like, you know, I had no idea they would grow into this energy, because perhaps maybe they weren't operating in this space before, but now you're seeing they are, and you're like, oh my gosh, like, how could I not see this coming? Like, what can I do to reach out to them, right? So it could be that if this is in regards to a person, that you're seeing their glow up, essentially. You're seeing them grow, change, evolve. And you're really liking what you're seeing. So you're hoping that there's a way in which you can reconnect. And, if you're not on talking terms, or if you're at a distance, or, if your connection wasn't as strong, because I'm feeling with that Five of Cups there, in reversing the position of your vice. This is something that is no longer what it once was, right? Or it didn't come together in the way that you wanted, or you feel like it could have done now, right? So it's not as the connection isn't in the form that you want at this point. So now you're looking at this person and thinking, how can I express that, right? Because maybe you overlooked them, or maybe you thought that they were not aligned to your energy, but now you're seeing, oh, actually they're everything I want now, or, oh, actually, they've stepped up and they can be a true parent to me, or, oh, they've stepped up and, now I can actually work with this person again, or they've stepped up and, now I can actually try and heal our connection, get our friendship back on track. Well, however it applies to you, it doesn't have to be a romantic thing at all. It can be in various different ways, right? For some of you, it's very much healing a connection with a parent, right? But especially with that being in the divine feminine sense, could be the mother, right? That you're wanting to resolve issues between you and your mom, because you're seeing the work that this woman has put in and is trying to do in order to heal the relationship between you and them. So that's for someone in particular, probably. For others of you, this is about a situation where you're starting to tap into this energy yourself, right? Because the Emperor is your energy. This is you in the divine masculine. But this can be your divine feminine aspect coming to the forefront and realizing what it is that it truly wants, what this sense of fulfillment, what it is that they can nurture, where you can nurture, where you can grow organically, where you can bring into being with this natural ability that you have, right? So it's going to apply to you in different ways, okay? Just take it however it resonates. It's going to be different for each one of you, okay? But those are the messages that I got for that particular reading, for that particular card. In regards to, I feel, your fears at this time, you have the Son of Wands, okay? So this is you, okay, Aries, right? Fire energy. So I think what you're afraid of is that you're having to start from scratch, and you're having to, it's like you feel like you're having to defend yourself in some way, and that, people are not seeing your true potential. They're not seeing your true value, your true worth, what it is that you're able to bring into being, right? Maybe you're afraid that people are not seeing this about you, and that they just see you as someone who is, trying their hand at many things, especially with that fire energy. You might be trying your hand at many different things, and people might think that you're not consistent in some way, or maybe that, especially if this is a love situation, maybe you're afraid that this person's going to think that you're just after a one-night stand, or, that you're going to whisper all these sweet nothings and charm the pants off them and then be gone after a short period of time. Maybe you're afraid of being perceived in that way. And perhaps you're afraid also that, if you take this step forward towards whatever it is that you're trying to bring into being, that, it's going to be much harder to keep it in your reality. Like, you have to defend it. Like, you have to really be on top of it all the time, just to make sure you don't lose whatever you've gained, right? That's what I feel like, because it's something new. It's either something brand new, or you're having to approach something from the past in a new way. And that's where this uncertainty comes in. In regards to your hopes, you have the Father of Wands. So this is interesting. This is you and your element, right? Fire energy. So the King of Wands, where you had the Knight of Wands in your in the position of your fears. You have the King of Wands in your hopes, right? So this is it. You're hoping that you know, if it really does come to it, that you have to defend your position or defend how you truly feel about this dream, about this connection, about this new beginning, you're hoping that, you know, people will recognize how strong you really are, like how much you actually bring to the table, how determined you are, like how determined you are to defend what it is that you're trying to create or what you're trying to do, you know, whether it's bridging a connection, whether it's creating a new dream, right? You're willing to defend it. You're hoping that you have the strength enough to do whatever is necessary to keep it as a part of your reality once you move towards it, right? So you're willing to fight for it is what I'm saying. And I'm thinking that you're hoping that, you know, that's going to be enough if it comes to it, right? Because there is some uncertainty around this. So when we clarify, we'll see more. In regards to your potential outcome, you have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So this is air energy, okay? Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So this is it. You're being shown, essentially, that, okay, you might have taken some time out and to do some reflection and healing, and you may have got a bit caught up in that energy because of the uncertainty, because you feel like things were not clear. You didn't know what it is that you wanted anymore. Things were just, you know, a haze. You were just in a fog, right? And you felt very much trapped by that energy. But now you're coming out of space and you're realizing that actually, you know, it's becoming increasingly clear what it is that you want. And now is the time to align yourself with that new vision, right? Because that's how we truly manifest and create. It's not just by doing a series of things and just saying the same thing over and over. It's aligning your energy completely with that new vision of reality, right? That's how you truly manifest it into being. It's by aligning yourself fully to the energy that thing resonates at, okay? And that's what you're going to be doing from what I can tell. Okay, so let's go into the clarification now and see what else we can reveal about this circumstance or series of circumstances, because there are a few different things playing out for different people. Too many. Interesting. And final cards. Okay. So let's have a look. So in regards to the present circumstances, the Wheel of Fortune here in reverse, you have the Page of Cups in reverse, water energy, and you have the Six of Swords, so air. So what's being shown here is that, yeah, there's something, you need to address something within this cycle. Some things that may have not been discussed, communicated. There's still a lot of things up in the air is what I'm getting from this, right? And that's why you can't move forward with this gesture of wanting to smooth things over and get the emotional connection back on track, right? Because there's still so much that has been left unsaid. So before you can really extend yourself emotionally, you have to kind of have this communication, have this discussion, and get everything out in the open so you can start moving towards, you know, a more peaceful state, right? Within yourself, but also within the connection between the two of you, right? Because I feel like this is in regards to a disagreement or just a connection that was kind of dissipated in some ways. And there was a lot of things that were unresolved or unsaid, right? So in order to get things back on track, that communication needs to take place. And then you can extend yourself emotionally towards, you know, trying to gain that trust back, or gain that that love, express that love again, show your concern, your consideration, your care, your compassion, all of these things, and the person sharing that with you also. So that's what I'm getting from that. In regards to your challenge here, the Justice card, you have Judgment and you have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, the challenge here is to look at things from a balanced point of view, more objective, in order to weigh out, you know, what needs to take place in order to get things moving towards calmer waters. Because things have been choppy for quite some time, but now, you know, now that you feel it's clear what it needs to take place, this communication that needs to come in, this action that you want to take towards a specific person, a connection, a dream, right? You're not unsure anymore as to how to go about that. You're not going back and forth in your mind, right? You know that you have to look at things from a very objective point of view and be willing to put yourself out there in order to get things on track, right? And then once you do that, then you'll be able to see some very positive resolutions coming into play, right? Because I feel like if there is going to be some kind of reconciliation, or if there is going to be a meeting of minds, a collaboration, you know, or a new start of a relationship of some kind, whether it's a friend, family member, or ex-partner, I feel like you're aware that you have to kind of overcome your pride. You have to put down your guard a little bit and just speak from the heart and just see things from a very objective point of view. And once you do that, once you start to express that, that person will reciprocate, and then you'll be able to finally resolve this and move towards a much lighter way of communicating, and to move things in a positive direction within this connection, right? So in regards to the recent past, the Knight of Swords in reverse, you have the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy, and you have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So you could have been dealing with a Capricorn, but either way, I feel like the reason why you chose not to act on this situation, or not communicate, or maybe pull back entirely from the connection, is because you were tired. You didn't want, you went through a lot, possibly with this person or just within yourself, and you didn't have the strength anymore to, you know, keep up your guard, keep looking out for the next hurdle and, you know, the next challenge, the next argument. You were just drained, essentially. You were just completely done with it. You just couldn't do it anymore. And as such, you know, I felt like you felt like the only way you could free yourself by that is from releasing yourself from this situation, connection, right? But you may have come to realize over time that that didn't resolve everything, okay? That while, yes, there were certain things that were toxic within the situation, or there were certain things that definitely needed addressing or healing, it didn't necessarily resolve all the issues, because there was things within yourself that needed resolving and healing. There's other things at play that needed your attention and needed looking at objectively. And then because of that, you know, you were starting to understand where maybe some aspects of your vision, your dream, weren't very realistic, because it was not taking into account all of these factors, right, that were not resolved, that were not being healed, that were being overlooked. Because essentially a lot of what you associated to be wrong with your life was within this connection or within this situation that you were navigating. But then you came to realize that wasn't necessarily the case. There was other things that needed addressing as well. In regards to your near future, the Seven of Cups here in reverse, you have the Hanged Man. I'm not surprised he came out, because I really felt that energy quite a lot. This is a very prominent card for your reading, looking at things from a new perspective. The Hanged Man and the Tower, okay, associated that with Scorpionic energy as well. So it's, yeah, with this new clarity, with this new hindsight, right, with this moment of truth. I feel like so I'm getting like a moment of truth, clarity coming in, an epiphany. You're like, oh, I know what it is that I need to do now. I know what it is that I want. It's so clear to me now that I could detach myself from it, now that I've been in a different place, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, I can see things clearly, and I know what it is that I want. I know what it is that I need to do. I'm not stuck at this crossroads anymore. I can see what it is that I want, what it is that makes me feel good, what is aligned to where I'm headed. And it's like when you come into that realization, it's going to be like a huge tower moment. It's like, whoa, like, because maybe you thought for a long time that the very thing you want at this point was what you didn't want, right? But with that realization, something huge happens, a massive shift takes place. There's some realization. I just want to quickly clarify what this tower is, but there's something that kind of comes into play that just knocks your socks off, right? It's that kind of energy, because it was so unexpected. First, this realization was really unexpected. You've been feeling it kind of a little bit in the background, I think, but you didn't realize just how much it meant to you and what you truly wanted within that. Whether it was this dream or of healing a connection. Yeah, you want things to become balanced again. You want this equal give and take. You want to feel like you're on this journey with support behind you, with being able to support someone else. You want to, you want to align with someone who is aligned to you, that's aligned with your vision, that's aligned with your dream, right? You want to restore balance. You realize that you want to restore balance in your life, partially in this person's life, and also in this connection. Interesting. So in regards to your feelings, the 10 of Wands here, you have the 2 of Swords in reverse, and you have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So obviously this is earth energy here. So you may very well be dealing with a Taurus, or possibly a Virgo, Capricorn as well. That came through quite strongly. So you could be dealing with an earth sign or someone who has a lot of earth placements in their chart. Either way, I feel like for yourself, Aries, that, yeah, you're feeling the strain, you're feeling the burden of all this baggage that you've been carrying around, because you're just not been able to see the answer. You're like, I don't have the answer. I don't know what it is I need to do to free myself from this pattern, from this, this old cycle that hasn't come to an end yet. But you're starting to realize that the decision was yours to make all along, where you're concerned, right? Okay, you can't affect the will of another, but you have the ability to affect, what it is where you're concerned, right? So you're realizing now, like, it's not even that you have to make a grand decision and run with it, right? It's that is already coming to your awareness. The choice has already been made, but it's coming into your conscious awareness, because it was something that you made some time ago, you just weren't aware of it. And you're kind of done reminiscing on what once was, or what you once had, or what you should have been given, right? Because that will apply for some of you, especially where you have an issue with a family member, particularly if it's a mother figure, right? You're not reminiscing anymore, and you're not, not reminiscing, you're not pondering on what it is you should have been given anymore, what you feel like you lacked from the connection, right? Or you're not like mourning over what was lost in other forms of connections, right? You're thinking about what it is that you can do now to free yourself from that feeling of loss, or that feeling of lack, or remorse, or regret, and just moving forward. In regards to what's crowning you at this time, the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Strength card in reverse, Leo energy, and you have the 5 of Swords, air energy. 5 of Swords in reverse. So this is saying, that it's like I was saying before, abundance comes to you organically. There is nothing you need to do to put yourself in that position of feeling abundant, that you can provide, that you can nurture right? That is a part of your makeup. That's something you do organically, right? So that's not something you even have to concern yourself about. It's not something that, you know, is up for debate. It's not up for debate. It is what it is, right? So there's no challenge there with regards to that ability. It's just being able to stay within that energy, you know, regardless of the fact that you may be navigating through a new path. That's where the strength will come in. But when it comes to your ability to manifest, your ability to remain abundant, to attract positive energies, you know, tap into high frequencies, that's something you do organically. You just might not be aware of it yet. And that might come into this realization, right? So that's interesting. So that might be a part of it as well, that you tap into this energy on a whole new level, and it shocks you because you're like, I didn't even know I could do this, right? You weren't even aware of your abilities, but now that's starting to come to the forefront. And when you look back on things, you're like, oh yeah, I was able to do this, and this. And it's like, yeah, because you've always had that organic ability to do that, right? You just weren't necessarily aware of it or aware of the extent of it. Whereas now that's even being upgraded further. So that's going to be quite a big realization for you also. So in regards to your advice here, the 5 of Cups in reverse, you have the Empress in reverse this time, so more Taurus energy. It could very well be Taurus for some of you. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and you have the King of Swords. So it could also be an earth sign. Could be a Libra. We've got Libra strongly here on the table. Or it could be, you know, Gemini or Aquarius. But either way, it's like your advice here is not to look back on where you didn't see an opportunity for growth, you know, or longevity of, you know, providing a strong foundation, providing a chance of birthing something new, right? Or you didn't see this person, because if this, like I said, the Empress represented in your external influences was a person, then this is looking back and thinking like, oh, this person has changed so much. Look at what they do now. Or, oh, how did I not see that they were this person all along? Either way, it's saying, look, it doesn't matter how you viewed them in the past, right? What matters is what you do now, okay? It doesn't matter what transpired between you in the past or how you felt in the past. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not relevant at all and you know, your feelings or your thoughts don't matter. It's just that the past is the past. So rather than dwelling on what wasn't created or what wasn't maintained, or what you didn't do creatively, or what you didn't dream into being, right? What you need to focus on now is that you can change this, right? You can turn this around. You can start building. You can start manifesting something new, right? But that can only happen when you stop looking back on what could have been or should have been or would have been, right? It's about what will you do now? What will you focus on now? Where will your attention lie? So in that aspect, you're going to have to kind of step into the King of Swords a little bit and just free yourself from this nostalgia, right? And not that you won't be able to look back on this fondly and be like, oh, I'm glad I learned through those experiences. I'm glad I had those moments, right? Those positive moments or whatever. It's just that right now, you're too attached to the past. So you have to free yourself from the past in order to be present, right? Because otherwise that can trigger feelings of depression, of low mood, of low, like drop your frequency. That can affect your ability to manifest more abundance and experience gratitude. So that's why you have to kind of step in this energy to free yourself a little bit from that, okay? So in regards to your external influences, the Empress here, you have the Ace of Pentacles. You see how you had the 10 in reverse, and now you got the Ace of Pentacles right here. And you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. This is not even funny. I mean, look at this, right? I just have to do this. Your advice, you know, external influences, the advice, right? Because this is just ridiculous. And this was clarifying the 5 of Cups, bearing in mind in reverse. Then you have the, you know, external influences, the advice. Closing out the 10, getting to that point, bam, new opportunity, right? And the top of that, coming into this energy in order to do it, this energy and your external influences, right? So what, like, it's just, it just ties in so perfectly. It's saying, listen, once you're able to do that and free yourself from the past by stepping into this and just taking the wisdom, taking the understanding and the wisdom that's come from navigating those circumstances, then boom, new opportunity from the universe, right? You're like, okay, you've done what you needed to do. Here you go. Now you can do something about it. Now you can align to manifesting this 10th pentacle, right? Because you've got the 9 of Pentacles. You do that anyway. But there's just this one, right? The 10th pentacle that you've been seeking. You have an opportunity here to now bring this into being, right? And then when you do that, you're not going to be confronted with, you know, any resistance, anger, uncertainty, mistrust. None of that, okay? It's actually going to come very organically, I feel, right? I feel like, you know, you might not get a response straight away. You might not get an answer. It probably will shock this person, whoever you're dealing with, when you communicate what it is that's taking place and what you want. But you're not going to be confronted with any anger or ill feelings, right? It's just going to take this person probably a minute to process this. But that's very abundant, very beautiful energy, right? But I feel like where this is concerning yourself, I feel like where this aspect of you is coming into play, right? That nurturing aspect of you, healing your divine masculine, helping you move forward, right? And not focus on what was lost, but what you're planting, you know, as of this moment. That's when you'll realize that something beautiful is coming into being, right? You're using more of that 9 of Pentacles energy. So then there'll be no need to be confrontational or resistant to the change. While you might be a little bit initially, I feel like you will come out of that energy, okay? So in regards to your fears, the Son of Wands here, you have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse and the 4 of Pentacles. So yeah, you're afraid that after all the work that you've put into yourself, into healing, into building this life, building towards this dream, that by taking a new approach, a new path, exploring a new vision, you're going to lose everything that you've, you know, acquired. All of the skill sets that you acquired will be for naught. All of the money you've invested into this future will be for naught. You know, that kind of energy. But that's what I'm not feeling from this. I feel like nothing is lost, right? It's never truly lost. It's all going to come into play and it's going to serve you in some aspect. You just might not see that yet. So you might get tempted to step in this energy where you feel like you have to hold on to everything from the past, hold on to everything that you have now so that you don't lose more than what you bargained for. But I feel like that's only going to bring you into an energy of stagnancy. So do be aware of that, okay? In regards to your hopes, the King of Wands here, you have the Chariot, okay, so Cancer energy, and you have the Star, Aquarius. So yeah, you could very well be easily dealing with Aquarius, or you could be dealing with a Cancer, because we do have some water energy very much in play here as well. But either way, I feel like what you're hoping is to move passionately towards this vision, towards this dream, right? You want to go full steam ahead, and you're willing to fight for it as well. With this being present, it's like I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get things on track so I can have, you know, this dream come into reality, come into being, or to re-spark the connection, you know, bring it back to bring it to a whole new level, a whole new place, right? You know, make this connection alive again, but also bringing it to a new frequency, right? Communicating in a new way, in such a, you know, higher frequency way, right? Rather than it being on a surface level, it meaning much more, it being much deeper, right? So you're going for what you're hoping to do, and what I think you will do, your focus moving forward is going full steam ahead towards this vision, towards whatever this dream is for you, or whatever this connection means to you. It means everything. So you are going full steam ahead towards this, right? And then finally, in regards to your potential outcome, the Eight of Swords in reverse here. You have the Ace of Cups in reverse, the more water energy, and you have the Page of Wands again. So where you're seeing that there's no stagnancy, that actually it's anything that comes across as stagnancy is self-imposed. You're realizing that there's going to be a lot of release taking place, and it's going to be a bit of a struggle. There's going to be some resistance, especially with the page coming up again. That shows me there is going to be some resistance, but you are going to purge it, you know, and it's going to bring a lot of emotions to the surface. So if you feel like you need to cry, if you need to, you know, vent to a friend, if you feel like you need to express your feelings in a creative way, or just express it in a way that's personal to you, do that, right? Because you need that release. Because once you do that, then you can move forward, then you can become back into the present and move towards this new beginning, right? Towards this new path, this new vision, right? This dream that you are bringing into being. So do whatever you need to do to help you purge the feelings that attach to what happened in the past, okay? So, Aries, I hope this helped you. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. As I said before, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It'd be great to have you as part of the community. And don't forget to hit the notifications bell so you're informed of your next reading. But otherwise, I wish you all the best, sending you lots of love through this process and journey. I know you've got this. Keep believing in yourself. And we'll see what happens in your shadow work reading if any of these elements come up there. But for now, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.